Hi everyone and a very warm welcome to this video. So in this video, we are going to discuss some of the most important, things regarding the UGC NET JRF examination. From the thumbnail and from the title of the video. You already know what are the things that we are going to discuss today. Before going into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Anushka. I'm an ISI alumni and a faculty member here at EduShort. So basically, in this video, we are going to discuss that once you clear your JRF examination, UGC NET JRF examination, what will be the benefits, right? What will be the benefits? Basically, the monetary benefits that you will get after clearing this Junior Research Fellowship exam conducted by University Grants Commission, that is UGC, right? This is one of the most asked question. Students keep on asking me this question time and again. So I thought that let us make a separate video for this. That what will happen, what are the prospects after you clear this Junior Research Fellowship exam. Here in EduSure, we prepare you for, economics paper, the economics paper of your UGC NET. So once you clear this exam, so let us understand what will be the benefits that you will receive. So for that, I have opened up this. This is the official website of UGC. So this is the most trusted source. Let us stick to this because we only need the authentic news, what you will get from the official website, right? So let us take a look at this. Here you can see the Junior Research Fellowship in Science, Humanities and Social Science, that is our zone. So see, the name of the examination is given, the objective of this examination. So the objective is to provide financial assistance to NET JRF qualified candidates. Only the JRF qualified candidates will get the monetary benefits. That for what purpose? The objective is to undertake advanced studies, research leading to MPhil and PhD degrees in humanities and social science, including the languages and science. So all kind of social science and humanities subject, if you want to pursue higher studies, basically MPhil is valid for some subjects, for example, psychology, not valid for other subjects, and specifically for the PhD. If you want to pursue PhD in your subject, then you can give this UGC NET JRF examination. JRF has a higher cutoff than the NET cutoff, this we all know. Once you clear the JRF cutoff, you become eligible for the Junior Research Fellowship. That is an assistance monthly allowance that will be provided by the UGC, that is University Grant Commission. And now we'll see what will be the amount for that. Right. So let me straight away go into this. You can take a look at this. This is the official website. You can check. So the eligibility is given to you here, that candidates who have qualified for the NET JRF, CSIR is for the science stream, so it's not our, forte. So NET JRF, candidates who will qualify this NET JRF will be eligible for this fellowship. However, the registration for MPhil PhD is made by the universities, institutions and colleges within stipulated period of 2 years from the date of declaration of the result. So basically, if you want to apply for the assistant professorship, then it is valid for 2 years. Your marks will be valid for 2 years. But if you want to apply for PhD and get the stipend as provided by the UGC, then only 1 year is valid. You have to apply within 1 year if you want to pursue PhD with the Junior Research Fellowship, right? So what will be the valid tenure for that? So UGC will assist your PhD, they will fund your PhD for 5 long years. So you have to, submit your thesis within 5 years, at max 5 years. If you submit your thesis within 5 years, you will get the full monetary benefit that they will give you. Suppose your thesis is not completed within 5 years and you go to the 6th year, then for the 6th year, they will not pay you, right? So only if your thesis is submitted for 5 years, this benefit is valid for only 5 years, right? You have to submit, you have to try to submit your research, whatever you have done, your coursework marks, and also your PhD thesis within this 5 years or at max 5 years. The 5 is the upper bound, basically. So for 5 years, this tenure will be valid. They will provide you with the assistance. Now let us see what will be the financial assistance. So here you can see the detailed, description of that. First thing is the fellowship. What is the fellowship? for the first 2 years, you will get 37,000 per month as your fellowship. 37,000 per month. Plus, if you are not taking the hostel accommodation, if you are not staying in hostel, if you are pursuing PhD from your home or some other place, if you are not taking the university hostel accommodation, then you will also get an amount as the house rent allowance, right? This plus the house rent allowance, usually in the metro cities, it is at 9K, right? HRA is usually at the rate 9K, so you'll get this additional 9K if you are not taking the hostel accommodation. This is usually valid for all the metro cities. For all the metro cities, this is the rate, right? This is for the first 2 years. So you'll get 37,000 plus this 9K. So altogether 46,000 amount will be given to you if you are not availing the hostel accommodation. If you are availing, if you are staying in the hostel, you will get 37,000 per month as your stipend for the first 2 years. Now, what will happen after the first 2 years? Usually, after the first 2 years, you have to show your work, and a review committee is there usually, and they will review your work and they will give you the pass that yes, you have done satisfactory work. After this review of your work so far, they will promote you to senior research fellow, right? So from junior research fellow, you will be promoted to the senior research fellow. And once your promotion is done, you will be getting 42,000 per month as your stipend for the remaining period. That is for the next 3 years. So if you are finishing your thesis by say 3 and 4 years, then it's well and good. You will get for the remaining period at max 5 years. So for the first 2 years, you will get 37,000. And then how many years you will need? So 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, up till 5 years, you will be getting 42,000 per month as your fellowship as a senior research fellow in the university. This will be granted. Along with that, you will be eligible for the house rent allowance again for the metropolitan cities. As per information, this is at the rate 11K, right? If you are a senior research fellow and if you are in a metropolitan city, metro cities, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore. So all these metro cities, if you are in universities in these metro cities, then you can avail the house rent allowance if you are not availing the hostel facility which is given by the university, right? If you are at your home, you are pursuing PhD from your home, then or you are staying somewhere else or you are taking some PG facilities and all. So in that case, you will get some house rent allowance. So this is an approximate thing. This amount is not fixed. For only metro cities, we know that this is the rate. For all the other cities, I'm not quite sure. This might vary depending on your universities. So you have to contact your authorities in your universities to know this rate, exact rate. But as per my knowledge, my friends are doing PhDs from metro cities. As per my knowledge, this is the amount that they receive every month, right? So 42,000 plus this 11,000 will be given to you if you are not taking hostel accommodation. So this is it. And then after this is what you will get. After this, you are also eligible for some contingency grant. So basically, if you want to purchase some books or some research tools or anything related to research, if you want to purchase anything related to your research work, then they will additionally give you some contingency grant. For humanities and social science, it is rupees 10,000 per annum. In a year, they will give you 10,000 as a junior research fellow. And if you are a senior research fellow, it will be 20,500 per annum. So per year, you can avail 10,000 as a junior research fellow, and per annum, they will give you 20,500 rupees for, if you are a senior research fellow. And for science scholar, this is the amount you can take a look at this, right? So this is the amount of financial assistance that will be given to you once you qualify for the JRF. And if you are only net qualified candidate, then you are not eligible for this financial assistance. You can apply for the assistant professorship depending on your qualifications, and it should be ideally done from 2 years after you qualify for the NET examination. And for JRF, it is usually 1 year, right? Within 1 year, you have to apply somewhere and you have to, avail this financial assistance from the declaration date of the result. From the day your result has declared, 1 year from them you have to, this is the period in which you have to decide, right? So this is the financial assistance and all the benefits that is given by the UGC University Grants Commission once you qualify for junior research fellowship, right? So this is the information. I know many of you had doubts in this. What will be the benefits and what are the prospects after this? So I hope I have discussed them in details. So you can also check this out. This is the official website of UGC. And if you further have any doubts, anything you want to know from me, then you can definitely ask me in the comment section. Please write your comments and I'll try to clarify, right? So thank you so much for your time for watching this video, and let's hope to see you in class. And also in YouTube, also EduShot provides you a 50-day free course. There we provide you with revision session. If you're interested, you can take a look at that and do subscribe to this channel of EduShot UGC NET. And I hope to see you in some other videos, right? Thank you so much for your time.